So, after insisting that the March 31 protest was a non-event, with no one on the streets, the Zimbabwean government somehow found itself with 95 ghosts standing in the dock at the magistrate's courts yesterday. Yes, 95 people, flesh and blood, arrested for participating in a protest that the state swore never happened. And in case that didn't give the dictatorship vibes hard enough, Chris Mutsvangwa pulled up to a ZANU-PF press conference to take things from embarrassing to downright Orwellian. The man, yes, that Mutsvangwa, the one who insulted an entire vice president and called half the nation clueless not long ago, was back behind the mic as if nothing happened. Apparently, ZANU-PF has a short memory when it comes to their own loud mouths, but an eternal vendetta when it comes to protesters. In today's performance, Mutsvangwa, perhaps freshly oiled with delusions of grandeur, bragged that the police showed they can maintain law and order during Monday's crackdown.
I also want, on this occasion, to give a pat on our state apparatus. It came out in full force to protect peace and order. And they proved that they are not a joystick for political daydreamers. This is a state apparatus born out of the pain of war. It knows its allegiance to the people of Zimbabwe. And somehow there was a belief that it is akin to any of the post-colonial inherited armies of Africa, which can be commanded from London and from Paris to go to State House and remove leaders. It does not work like that with our army. It is a revolutionary army steeped in the traditions of the people of Zimbabwe. It is not the army of Mobutu Sese Seko. It is not the army of Idi Amin. It is not the army of Bokassa. It is not the army of Ironsi and all those wayward African military leaders who pander for foreign interests at the expense of the people of Africa. No, it is not. And the president, to make sure that the state of apparatus was in safe hands, he made dramatic changes in the structure of our state apparatus. I want to congratulate the new leaders who were put in place as we approach 31. And they've proved their mettle by making sure that they are loyal to the President of the Republic, that they defend the interests of the people of Zimbabwe, and that they keep the professional traditions of our state apparatus intact. It is well respected all over Africa. So hats off to General Matatu. And congratulations too, as I say, hats off. Hats off to Comrade Shepard Mtamba at ZRP. And hats off to Director General Fulton Mangwanya at CIO. They assumed office in the nick of time at very short notice, and they proved their worth to the people of Zimbabwe, to the president who appointed them in those posts. And they made sure that Zimbabwe remains orderly and peaceful on what was supposed to be a fateful day.
Translation: the regime is very proud of the tear gas, beatings, armored vehicles, and the fear campaign they unleashed on unarmed citizens. This wasn't law enforcement. This was martial law with a fresh coat of denial. But it gets better. Mutsvangwa also confirmed what everyone outside the Politburo of ZANU-PF already knew. The recent reshuffling of army personnel, where trusted military commanders were reshuffled into civilian government roles and replaced with diehard Mnangagwa loyalists, was not about efficiency or development. It was about silencing the people, straight from the horse's mouth. No spin, no shame, just full-blown authoritarianism in HD. And just when you thought the men couldn't dig a deeper hole, Mutsvangwa decided it was finally time to go after Blessed Geza, whose explosive pressure on HSTV rattled the regime to its core. It's the first time since that interview that Mutsvangwa has publicly tried to discredit Geza, likely emboldened by the state's belief that March 31 was a failure. But if Geza's words didn't matter, why is Mutsvangwa still so triggered? Speaking of questions, what exactly is Chris Mutsvangwa still doing addressing ZANU-PF pressers anyway? Last we checked, he insulted not just a war vice president, but the whole nation in a meltdown that would have gotten anyone else expelled or retired with extreme prejudice. But no, he's still there, still talking, still acting like the party spokesperson. Because in ZANU-PF, accountability is reserved for the weak and loyalty is measured by how many boots you lick, not how many scandals you survive. This selective application of laws, this culture of impunity, this two-tier party system, that is what will ultimately kill ZANU-PF. Not sanctions, not the West, not imaginary saboteurs or invisible protests, just good old-fashioned internal rot. So to recap, 95 people are being tried for a protest that never happened, according to the ruling party. A ruling party official who should be suspended is giving pressers like he owns the party. And a military reshuffle designed to crush dissent is being celebrated as patriotic. If you are not angry, you are not paying attention. But we are. And we'll keep calling it out. Subscribe to Zimwaves TV for the truth they try to bury under propaganda and press conferences. Because in Zimbabwe, if you don't laugh at the madness, you will cry, and would rather roast them while we still can.
Tikunda shiendai shwakwana shiendai kunozorora gorerie makapotanyika gorerie makabira sarudzo gorerie makauraya vanhu gorerino matinyadzisa sadhaki yose matinyadzisa chakanaka shiendai ashatisati dzatikunda shiendai zvakwana shiendai kunozorora nyaiwe iwe mnangagwa nyaiwe iwe mnangagwa nyaimi Uno tidzatikunda chiendai zvakwana